Goodbye to my uncles, farewell to my aunts. One after the other you went to lie down in the green pastures beside the still waters and make no sound. Their arms that held me for so many years, their beautiful voices no longer I'll hear. They're in Jesus' arms and he's talking to them in the rapturous new Jerusalem. And I know they're at peace in a land of delight, but I miss them tonight, tonight. I miss the lost world that can never return, where kerosene lamps and wood fires burn. The woods and the sheds were home to me, so sweet and gloomy. The horses nicker when we brush their coats. We bring them some corn and a bucket of oats. The smell of their sweat and the wood in the barn on a hot summer day on a Midwestern farm. The woods and pastures and miles of sky, I bid it goodbye. Goodbye, Eleanor and Aunt Franny and Joe. Goodbye, Uncle Jim and Elsie and Don. One after the other you went to lie down, and now I'm gone. You'll always be vivid in my memory. Who is this little girl walking towards me? She calls me uncle, I smile at her. I wish she'd known mine, what sweet men you were. She takes my hand and I know what to do. I'll try to be you. We'll walk in the meadow and look at the tree. I'll point out the birds as you brought them to me. We'll sit side by side with a book in between. She'll point to a word and I'll say what it means. And when she is sleepy and the night is too long, I'll sing her your song, your song. Now they have a cell phone that will listen to bird calls and identify them accurately. So there's no place for me there, not that I would be any good at it anyway. and they have instruments that will read aloud to you from a book, right? In a kind of a robotic voice, but still. Maybe they could find an algorithm to use my voice to read anything. And some people I've heard use Lake Wobegon monologue CDs to put themselves to sleep. That's fine. That's fine. The person wants to be useful. I stay in business at the age of 84 because I see the old culture is disappearing and I don't want it to go away so fast because I grew up with these things. I grew up with stories. This has nothing to do with politics. I grew up with stories. Stories are about what happened to you. Sermons, that's where you take the interesting parts out and you draw conclusions. Stories, jokes, poetry. I don't hear people tell jokes anymore. I used to play on a softball team, the Jack's Auto Repair softball team. We played every Sunday, and afterward we would go to a bar and drink beer, and we would tell jokes, and you would run right through all of the genres of jokes. We'd do knock knock, who's there? Amish.
Tama, shoe.
You don't look like a shoe. Amish man and his son walk into a department store, and an elderly fat lady walks into an elevator, and the doors close, and they stand there for a while, and then the doors open, and this beautiful young woman walks out, and the man says, "Go get your mother." It was a ritual, and you stuck to the genre. Nobody interrupted to tell you, give their opinion about something. A man walks into a bar. There's a whole dozens of jokes, and let's see how long we can keep this going. A man walks into a bar with his hands full of dog turds and says, "Look what I almost stepped in." A man walks into a bar and he sees three men sitting at a table playing poker with a dog. The dog is holding cards. And the man says to the bartender, "Is this dog, he can really play poker?" And the bartender says, "Yes, but he's not a very good player because whenever he gets a good hand, he wags his tail." Light bulb jokes. Hundreds of light bulb jokes. How many New Yorkers does it take to change a light bulb? 50. 50? Read the contract. How many surrealists does it take? It takes one to hold the giraffe and one to fill the bathtub. How many Jewish mothers? None. Never mind, I'll just sit here in the dark. How many Unitarians does it take? Unitarians believe that incandescent and fluorescent and neon are equally valid paths to light. And if on your journey you need to change your light bulb, they will come to your home and recite a poem and perform a dance about the rising of the sun. North Dakota jokes. North Dakota, they used to be called moron jokes, now they're called we call North Dakota jokes. The train to Chicago leaves at 1:15, and the train to Duluth leaves at 1:30. And the train to Grand Forks leaves when the little hand is on the 1 and the big hand is on the 9. Or Polish jokes, call them whatever you want. Polish jokes. They tried to create a new fish by breeding a coho with a walleye. And they called it a kowal. But it wouldn't bite. And so they bred it with a muskie and created a Kowalski. It was a fish that they had to teach how to swim. So, which of course leads to viola jokes. Why do violists leave their violas on their dashboard? So they can park in handicap spaces. Is that not a proper joke? Have you waited past this? Is this no longer? How do you torment a violist? You turn one tuning peg slightly and don't tell him which one. I thought that was a good joke. Ooh. No, I grew up in another culture where we sat around and told these jokes and tried to come up with some good ones. And I did, until that last one. No, it was a whole other time. This was back in the early days of rock and roll, before rock and roll songwriters got on drugs that made them stupid. And they wrote terrible songs. We grew up with songs that we knew the words, and so you would sing them together. The point of the word was not to prove that you were unique. It was to do something together. Dancing at a party with people all singing the words Chantilly lace and pretty face and a ponytail hanging away like a walking dead. Make the world go round. There ain't nothing in the world like big black girl. Make me so fine. Spend my money. Make me feel like a woman. Oh, yeah.
What I like
sunshine on a cloudy
day
when it's cold
outside.
I got the month of May.
Yes, you say
What
can make me feel this way, my girl, I'm talking about my girl, my girl.
What's the other one I'm trying to think of? Memory loss. I'm sorry? What's the first line? You shake my nerves and you
You're out of my bone. Insane. What a thrill. Great balls of fire.
Change my mind. Change my mind. This love is kind.
Great balls of fire.
Ooh, baby. Hold me, baby. Ooh,
Baby.
feels good. Ooh, baby. I wanna love you like a love should. So fine.
So
fine.
good.
I wanna tell the world that
You're mine.
shake my nerves and
You're in my brain.
you must love me.
You're insane. This gracious, great balls of fire.
It's a whole different ballgame. I was at the University of Minnesota when Bob Dylan was there, and Bob Dylan came down from Italy, and he wanted to be cool and set himself apart from other people. And so he wrote some postcards of the hanging. They're painting all the passports brown. The beauty parlor is full of sailors because the circus is in town. Here comes the blind commissioner. They've got him in a trance, and so forth and so on. I mean, I can put together unrelated sentences too, but the Rolling Stones tried to carry on, blues tradition, and they wrote memorable songs. Nobody remembers that Dylan song, Desolation Row. They don't remember that. When I went to my daughter's graduation party, and it was the daughter-daddy dance, we did not sing "How Does It Feel to Be All Alone." The Rolling Stone, we did not sing that song. We sang, "I wanna hold your hand, I wanna
Hold your hand.
'Cause when I touch you, I feel happy inside. It's such a feeling that I can't hide.
I can't hide.
Maybe today you might sing, I met a gin-soaked barroom queen in Memphis. She tried to take me upstairs for a ride. She had to throw me right across her shoulders, 'cause I just can't seem to get you off my mind. And it's the memorable song. When I was at the university, the freshman year, the two most famous poets in America came to campus, Robert Frost and Allen Ginsberg. And Robert Frost gave a huge reading at Northrop Auditorium. He had just recited a poem at John F. Kennedy's inauguration and was on national TV. And Allen Ginsberg was famous for having been arrested for obscenity for a poem that wasn't the least bit obscene, but it's the best a poet can hope for. And there was nothing memorable about Howell, as I recall from that reading, which was at Kaufman Union. He read a good deal of Howell and some other poems from Kaddish as well. I remember I saw the best minds of my generation starving, hysterical, naked, dragging themselves through the Negro streets at dawn, looking from angry, fakes, angel-headed hipsters, burning for the ancient heavenly connections to the something. Robert Frost's poem, "Whose woods these are, I think I know. His house is in the village low. He will not see me stopping here to watch his woods fill up with snow. My little horse must think it queer to stop without a farmhouse near, between the woods and frozen lake, the coldest evening of the year. He gives his harness bells a shake to ask if there is some mistake. The only other sounds the sweep of easy wind and downy flake. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep." Professor Foster in modern literature class at the U said it was a poem about death. Bullshit. Snowfall is not deadly. It's a poem about beauty.
Yes.
My teacher, James Wright, like many other poets, other writers, had a problem with alcohol. He had his leg caught in the leg trap of alcohol. But he wrote memorable poems. There's a poem that so many people know by heart. I've run into them. They've heard me recite it. He taught an 8 a.m. class in humanities, Melville. He looked horrible. He was in a bad place, but he created a beautiful thing. Just off the highway to Rochester, Minnesota, twilight bounds softly forth in the grass, and the eyes of those two Indian ponies darken with kindness. They have come gladly out of the willows to welcome my friend and me. We step over the barbed wire into the field where they have been grazing all day. Although they ripple tensely, they can hardly contain their happiness that we have come. They bow shyly as wet swans. They love each other. There is no loneliness like theirs. At home once more, they begin munching the young tufts of spring in the darkness. I would like to hold the slenderer one in my arms, for she has walked over and nuzzled my left hand. She is black and white. Her mane falls wild on her forehead. Something in the breeze moves me to caress her long ear that is delicate as the skin over the girl's wrist. Suddenly I realize that if I stepped out of my body, I would break into blossom. People remember that poem. It all makes sense. There's a music to it, some lyrics of songs fit. So be it Joseph's eyes were black as night. Joseph's face was black as night. Silver eyes. I wrote some memorable poems. Human sperm are very small. Microns, that's about all. They're just a cell with a dangly tail. Not as big as the ovum, but still you have to love them. And they're produced in the testes of the male. Beneath their shiny domes, they contain your chromosomes, and the tail can kick just like a lake. Nothing could be finer than to swim up a vagina in search of a rendezvous with an egg. The sperm has one ambition, and that's to gain admission to the female reproductive canal. And once he gets in it, he goes a millimeter a minute, along with 40 million of his pals. Sperm is no bloom when he smells the fallopian tube. It goes into some crazy figure eights about 10,000 times as those female enzymes keep egging him on to penetrate. The sperm all advance and they do their little dance, but only one gets through the egg membrane. And the union of those two, that's what led to you. So be thankful that your dad did not abstain. That old man in the garage once let loose a great barrage. Oh, he is not ancient and infirm, and his breath is bad. Children, he's your dad, because he contributed his sperm. You can get them from a bank, or from Jim or John or Frank, but when it comes to fatherhood, there's just one man to thank. He was young and he was dumb, but when things began to hum, he did not withdraw. He became your pa. That's where we all come from. Some moms are never. When I was young and trying to be cool, like so many of you, I was interested in the mysterious and enigmatic. I tried to be enigmatic myself sometimes, and I just didn't succeed. And more now, I feel that clarity is an aspect of art. You have to feel something. You have to get something from it. It's not a puzzle to be taken apart. It comes to you or it does not. Very often